Hello and welcome back to the Dear Video Games Podcast. My name is Curtis and I write about video games. Oh, I already messed it up. I already messed up the intro. I was supposed to say it's our open letter to our favorite hobby. And my name is Curtis Russell and I write about video games. I knew I was going to mess it up too. It's been a second since we did
it. It's been too long, yeah.
I knew I was going to mess it up, but of course I'm joined by my co-host Walter Slapadelic. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing real good. It's hot as all get out here in sunny California today, but I'm surviving.
It's getting real hot everywhere. I just came back from vacation and I've been sunburnt so bad. Like I'm so sunburnt and I'm still just trying to get over that because it's like, you guys won't tell from just looking at the stream, but my skin is like peeling from my forehead everywhere in my face and I look darker.
That happened to me not too long ago too. Yeah,
it's the worst.
Just was out in my backyard for like a couple of hours, just chilling out, listening to music. I came in and I was just like, just red, just all the way red.
And you were just listening to music. You just out there chilling.
Yeah. I'm just out there chilling. Yeah,
I was out there freaking for days, basically doing the same, but it was days on end, and my body was hurting. My skin was killing me. So first thing I want to go ahead and jump into this podcast with is that I don't know if I talked to you about this, Valsa Slapadelic. I know we talked about it before in the past, but we are actually actively looking for just any future guest or any like guest hosts that want to come on and just give your opinions on some of the awesome gaming topics that we talk about. If you want to come on the show, you can hit me up at Callie from the Dojo. You can hit him up at Slapadelic on Twitter. You can hit us up on Facebook if you have us on Facebook, or if you're watching the show right now, you can hit us up in the chat. I guess probably the prerequisites would just be make sure you have a webcam and a decent mic of some sort. I think those are pretty important things to come on the show.
It's definitely important, yeah.
Yeah. I have somebody that's probably going to join us next week that I've had conversations with earlier today. That's part of the sports gamers online team. So I think he's going to come on. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun to have somebody else on here. But yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to join in the conversation, go ahead and hit us up. Make sure you guys have a webcam. Make sure you guys have a decent enough mic, and we'll get you on. All right, let's jump into the show. Walter Slapadelic, Starfield has been delayed. We called it.
Yep. We hella called it. We definitely. They were, I mean, they were tripping saying 2022. People are like, wow, I was really looking forward to playing it this year. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
I think
weird.
I watched the episode back where we did the delayed or not game, and that game is still going. Me and you are tied at the moment because Starfield was the first one and it got delayed. I was listening to it.
Breath of the Wild 2 also, right?
Yeah, that's what led into it. That's what led into it. It wasn't part of the game. That's right. So we jumped right into it, and you were like, "Wait, that's coming out this year?" Like you even knew like that? No way.
Yeah, like I don't know if I had heard the release date or not. I probably hadn't, just kind of slipped my mind because like I probably saw them post it and was just like, that's a lie. I'm just gonna disregard that.
I think the thing we can say about Starfield, most likely it's still going to be shown at Xbox's and Bethesda's showcase in June.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's still going to be shown.
Yeah.
And but of course they still needed time to, I guess, polish the game, develop the game, and I believe it's getting pushed back to early 2023, which I think is a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, I think so too. Something I read about it said it estimated maybe 6-7 months. They were kind of conjecturing, but I feel like that sounds realistic.
Well, they were trying to get a release date of the same time like Skyrim came out, 12 years ago. And then I think they tried to push for that just for a marketing standpoint, and Todd Howard was just like, at this point, the marketing standpoint doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean, like you can. That's how the mistake so many games make, right? They have this like special day they want to come out for marketing reasons or whatever, and they stick with it so much that it ends up, the game ends up being super rushed or just they even said themselves, like in the the press, like in like the memos or whatever, was like, we don't want to pull a Cyberpunk, you know. So I mean, it's good that they're self-aware about that, you know. Cyberpunk had to had to be the one, had to be the fool, so everyone else knows what not to do.
Exactly. And you know what? That's a conversation that kind of just popped into my head right now. Is we need to start. I think me and you need to have a conversation, maybe on another episode, but talk about like certain gaming events that have happened that's going to help change the gaming industry for the better. Because if you look at something like maybe a Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box debacle, that happened and that has helped the industry in positive ways. Remind me at some point. I need, because I'm gonna write that down and we'll go through that, because that just popped into my head.
It's like a pattern of these big video game companies overreaching and then just like very publicly embarrassing themselves. I think the "Do you not have phones" was probably the it wasn't the first it wasn't the first one, but I think it was sort of the, like, you know,
that
was the pinpoint.
That was so bad. That was like,
like
you don't understand like your people. Like, you have a disconnect. You have a disconnect. You disconnected.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. We're gonna get to that. That's gonna be very interesting to talk about. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in a later episode, we'll definitely talk about that. So Starfield got its delay. I was in Mexico and it was 7 a.m. in the morning. It was a beautiful day. I went to this cafe that's right next to the this hotel we stayed next to. It's beautiful in Playa del Carmen. It's beautiful morning. And I'm scrolling through Twitter. I refreshed my Twitter, and that was what popped up. And I started laughing out loud.
Funny.
Amazing weather, amazing cappuccino I had, absolutely amazing. And I was like, of course, I am not surprised this delay does not hurt me in any way, because I just saw it coming and I prepared myself.
I mean, at this point, I was almost hoping it would be delayed, you know, because it's like, you know, a lot of these games, they really want to get them out, but it's like, I don't know, I'd rather wait a little bit longer for it to actually be good, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember anything else that you thought that were going to get delayed? Because I can run through I got the list right here.
Splatoon 3, I think I was kind of on the fence about, I think, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
I'm not sure I remember all the other ones that were on the list.
So we said God of War Ragnarok. I was the one that was like, it's going to get delayed. You said it was on time.
Yeah, when is that supposed to come out again? Because that was one of the ones that I thought was coming out sooner than it is coming out.
I think it still has just a 2022 release.
Okay, yeah. I believe that because it feels like they were working on that since the beginning. Although we haven't really seen anything about it, so I don't know. Maybe not.
And there's chances. We'll talk a little bit about some of the gaming events that are coming within the summer, but there's chances for God of War to show itself and kind of give us some hope that it's going to come out this year. We both said Bayonetta 3 will not be delayed. We said that's on time. Both of us.
Platinum needs something, right? They've been kind of, weren't they the ones with that weird MMO that everyone hates or something like that?
Recently?
Yeah, they came out with some kind of hack and slash or MMO or something. It was out of my wheelhouse of games that I normally play, but I just remember I kept hearing about it on like YouTube and Facebook and stuff.
I can't think of it right now. We both said that you did say Splatoon 3 would get delayed. I said it was going to be on time. I don't see Splatoon 3 catching a delay. But you said it for some reason.
They said that was what, like September or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they said September. Yeah.
And you said it was I think from what I remember on YouTube, you said that it was going to be like a small delay. It wasn't going to be something massive, but it was going to be.
That's what I could see, yeah, because that's sort of what Nintendo does, you know? There's like something that someone comes up with in the last like month of development, and they're like, we're just going to give the game an extra like month.
Yeah.
Just add this thing that we thought of, you know?
Like it's like late September, but like we're like, first week in November or something.
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy, we both said that was on time. I believe that's holiday 2022. We both said that was on time. And then, funny enough, we did GTA 6, and Elder Scrolls 6. We said whatever release date they get, they both will be delayed, whatever happens.
Yeah, it's so far in the future that a delay doesn't even have meaning. Like,
right.
The word delay doesn't even mean anything at this point.
It's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah. It's just in the future.
At some point, it'll catch a delay.
Yeah.
One thing before we jump into, I don't know if you played it yet, but we'll talk about it here in a second. But one thing I want to talk about, is just a little bit of news, is that FIFA and EA have finally split.
Been hearing about that.
Yeah. Of course, it's funny enough that, Electronic Arts didn't want to pay so much money to FIFA. They felt like they were getting shafted. I think that's so ironic of them to think that way.
Yeah. It's like, what were they making you buy, like, loot boxes or something?
Right. That's why. Oh, no. God forbid that entity in the gaming realm was making you spend so much money on a property. God forbid that ever happens, because you have been, never mind. But I talked about it on Sports Gamers Online. I gave an 8-minute video and just my thoughts. Does EA need FIFA? No, they don't. They don't need FIFA. The license for FIFA that really matters, they still have it, which is the FIFA Pro license, which gives them leagues, stadiums. They give them the players. It gives.
You just can't put the FIFA name on the box.
Exactly. They lose 2 assets, which is the FIFA the 4 letters of FIFA, and they lose the FIFA World Cup, which I never play the World Cup. I don't care too much about the World Cup in FIFA. Yeah. Does it? Yeah,
I think it's kind of about time. It's like, I'm not, a big fan of. I don't really. I mean, I've played FIFA because it's free on the various consoles here and there, but it's just, I just don't know anything about soccer, so it's just not my thing. Yeah. But like, it's good. It's a good sign. It's like what we've been talking about lately, about how EA needs to stop having this monopoly over sports games, because they're just very bad at making sports games at this point. And so now with them losing the FIFA license, and with 2K coming out with a new football game and all that kind of stuff, it's real good.
Yeah, really good.
Minds.
Yeah, I think the amount of money that FIFA wanted was a little bit astronomical, and I think maybe they looked at some of the microtransaction sales of like FIFA and things like that, and they wanted that more money. So I think EA did the right thing by kind of holding their ground and saying, we really don't need you, so we'll move on and we'll do our own thing. So now it's going to be called FIFA is gone. Officially, I should have kind of led with that. FIFA is gone after 30 years, and that partnership is gone, so the games will not be called FIFA anymore. They will be called EA Sports FC. And I don't know if you heard about this, Voltaire, and I want to get how you feel about this, and how you feel about, and I know you don't play a lot of FIFA or whatever, but I still think with your expertise in games, like, you can still give like a good opinion on this. Andrew Wilson, I believe it was either Andrew Wilson or some representative of EA did come out and say that, FIFA, the organization, the football and government body, is kind of the reason why we haven't made the game better. With the license,
I did hear that statement.
Yeah.
And like, I just, I mean, obviously FIFA has, as an organization, has a plethora of their own problematic issues.
Right.
But that statement just on its face just sounds like bullshit. Like, like there's not really like any other way. Like, it just sounds like
EA's trying to make them seem like the bad people.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we've released exactly the same game from FIFA since 2012 because of FIFA. And it's like, does FIFA run the John Madden estate? They're the ones making you make the Madden games the same since 2012 also? Like, what are you talking about?
What I stated in the video was, whether this is bullshit or not, right? Whether if it is or not, this is EA's chance to be like, to really point the finger and make it seem like it was FIFA's fault, because we all think it's bullshit, but it's like, if you come out with a better Pro Clubs mode next year, a better career mode, and you make these big wild jumps, and it's like, not next year because it's going to be FIFA 23, but the next installment after FIFA 23, and you start doing all this stuff, we're going to be like, oh, maybe it was FIFA's fault. I mean, that's the only way we can look at it, because we don't have any other evidence in front of us. But yeah, right now, I do kind of think it's for them to save face, for for EA to be like, yeah, it was FIFA's fault. That's why we've been doing crap modes like the Journey.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's like it's such like a toxic breakup. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, he did that, oh, he did this, well, they did this, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, it's a good thing you guys broke up.
Yeah, it's good you guys are after 30 years of marriage, you're done.
Yeah, it seemed like that wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That let's jump into another sports game. I don't know if you played this sports game yet. I got to review it on Sports Gamers Online. Nintendo Switch Sports.
I haven't picked it up just yet, but I do plan on getting it at some point. I sort of like I'll be like, yeah, I think I'll probably pick it up like today or tomorrow, and then it'll just completely slip my mind.
It's a game that it was hot for like a week. Like everybody was
Yeah.
talking about it for about a week, and then they kind of stopped talking about it. And I think that's one of the issues of the game. It doesn't have a lot at launch. There's just a
Hmm.
lot of potential.
And there's like just from the footage that I've seen and a couple of reviewers and just like commentators that I've seen talk about it have said like similar things like there's just something that it's missing that Wii
Mm,
Sports had. There's some
mm,
some like just little magic,
yeah,
that just made something, I don't know, that just made Wii Sports more of a hit where it's like, just many people have a Switch, but
yeah,
not everyone wants to play baseball on it, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It's well, I gave it an 8. I think I was one of the more nicer reviewers, which is surprising to me. Maybe it was called FIFA Switch Sports. I probably would have went in a little bit more, but
Yeah.
uh, it I was mad at not mad, but I was like, okay, it didn't have baseball. It only had 6 sports at launch. Didn't have baseball. It didn't have boxing. There was a few other sports. They didn't like Spoko Square. Spoko Square is such a beautiful like sports facility, and you could tell they put in all this work into it.
Hmm.
But you can't
Like
like
walk
walk
around.
around it. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like, and you could tell that's coming in a later DLC because of what like
Mm.
some of the loading screens are giving you. But it's like,
Okay.
so it's like you guys just really kind of. It almost was like you guys rushed this out
Yeah, that makes sense.
a
Yeah.
little bit, and then like
Hmm.
it's bone dry. But the reason why I gave it an 8 is because the base of the game is really good. It's like all the sports are very high quality. Volleyball's really fun. Tennis is great. The new soccer mode is fun online. It's very fun online, and a lot of the modes are very fun. And I think when you get, I literally had my grandmother who's like 68, freaking play it with me, and it was just a
Hmm.
blast. And I think that's kind of why I gave it an 8 because it's a great family game. Now, is it better than like something like if you played like a Mario Party or like a Mario Kart? Probably not.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's still a really good game.
I've been playing Mario Kart again lately
Mm,
because for the DLC tracks,
yeah.
they're like have you been trying out the new Mario Kart tracks?
I haven't played this newer Mario Kart, but I just read an article saying that people keep buying it, so they're probably not going to make a 9 anytime soon.
Yeah, they just came out with like a DLC, like I guess like I don't even know exactly what you would call it, like pass or something, I guess, where
Okay.
it's sort of like what they did with the Smash Brothers characters, where they're
Oh.
gonna roll out like all the old tracks from all the old Mario Kart games. And since I have the Switch Online subscription, then it just comes with that. And so it's like there's that, like the first one was like a couple tracks from the mobile version, so it's like there's the Tokyo and the London track,
Hmm.
but then there's also like just like some of the stuff from the GBA version and stuff, and it's really cool. I like it quite a bit. And it's, I hadn't played Mario Kart 8 in a while, but it's still one of my favorite Switch games. Probably my favorite Mario Kart too.
So they're doing a thing where like they have like new like it's like 4 tracks every like month or something.
Something like I think it's maybe even 8. Yeah, because there's two new cups, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, that game's gonna go on for a while.
Yeah. Well, and I want to maybe it's not every single month, but it is. They're introducing like 40 something new tracks though, so it is going to
Damn.
be like. So I kind of take it as they did sort of just they were halfway through Mario Kart 9 and they saw how Mario Kart 8 was still their best selling game on their
Yeah.
whole console, and they were
Yeah.
like, actually, let's not do that. Just
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just keep doing that.
let's hold off on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like what they're doing with Sims. Just keep,
Which I'm fine with.
yeah, just keep releasing packs and all that stuff. Um, yeah, Nintendo Switch Sports out right now. Yeah, when you play that, we'll definitely talk more about it and see how you feel about it. I think you'll like it, honestly. Um, let's talk about. I don't know if you did your own list, but I wanted to talk about like some of the games. You know, like summer's coming up, and you're not gonna see like you're not gonna be able. You won't see a lot of like big name releases. I think one of the bigger releases in this summer is towards the end of the summer, which is Saints Row.
Okay.
But I want to talk about some of the back catalog of games that you wanted to play. Some games that you're like, I need to get to. I feel like you're kind of playing them a little bit because you're playing on the PlayStation 5. You're playing the New Horizon.
Yeah, I've been playing the New Horizon, and yeah, that's like what we talked about before. Is when I got the new console, and it came with a couple of new games. Plus, I was able to update some of my PS4 games, so it was just kind of like I got a bunch of new games all at once.
Yeah.
So I haven't really so I, it's cool because I can just kind of try out all these new games and stuff. But the one like the reverse side of that is that it just kind of comes with this backlog. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I've been mostly playing on the PlayStation Death Stranding lately. I just out of all the new games that I got, I just got sucked right back into Death Stranding.
And this is like your third time playing it?
Second time playing through. Yeah.
On PlayStation 5.
Yeah, first time on PS5.
It looks better. It looks a lot better.
I think it's it just I think the controller actually does make a difference. It's kind of feels silly to say, but like the way that you could really like feel the shoulder buttons and stuff, like it's subtle. It's not as big of a difference as I think maybe the commercials try to make it out to be, but it definitely feels more like I guess tactile is the word that they use, like when he's like you get to like use the shoulder buttons to like like not fall over and everything. And yeah, it makes the parts that were already really intense just like that much more kind of intense, I feel like.
Because it's that haptic feedback?
Haptic, yes, that's what it is.
Is that what it is? That's what they're doing. So like, I guess like one of the things is like the back buttons will kind of like restrain itself from being pushed down and things like that. I know that's really cool.
It's cool, yeah, and it knows like exactly how like far in you've pushed it, like how analog triggers are, but it feels more precise, like you can, when you throw in like a grenade and you can aim it, like you can do the exact arc that you want it to have and stuff like that. And
yeah,
it's cool. Yeah,
that's what's up. That's cool. My back catalog, so I knew exactly what I wanted to play because there were so many games I missed. One of them I should have played on vacation, didn't put 1 second in it. And I was like, what am I doing? And I think I don't even remember what the hell I was doing on the way there. I completely forgot. I know I wasn't playing my Switch. I know that much. I want to say I was watching YouTube, some downloaded YouTube videos. Anyway, Star Wars: The Old Republic for Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never played Star Wars: The Old Republic. Never. And
it's in my list of games I will probably pick up at some point eventually, but yeah, I've never played it either.
Yeah. For like May the 4th, I guess it like went on sale. And I was like, I'm gonna buy it. It's $11. I'll buy it. Switch never goes on sale like this. Like Switch games never go on sale. So I was like, I'll buy it and play it. And I was so excited, and I was gonna play it on the plane and a little bit on vacation, but I never got around to it. I'm still gonna try to play it and see what all the hype is about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, it's funny because like people will like I watched a couple of reviews of it, and they're both like, yeah, I mean it is a very old game it's pretty janky when you're playing it, but to be honest, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's still good. It's still good despite being terrible in a lot of ways.
Right. Because it's a BioWare game. So it's like that BioWare storytelling, and apparently it's like one of those games that really told like a really good story at first.
Speaking of BioWare, that's my backlog game, is freaking the Mass Effect remaster trilogy. Yeah, because I got that on the Xbox when it came out on Game Pass, like a few months ago now, I think. And I've gotten past where I was when I was playing the OG Mass Effect before the remaster went on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's just one of those games where I'm just like, oh yeah, that's what I gotta play that, because like the story is great, and I get all like into it once I'm like playing it and stuff. But it's just I got all these other games that I'm like, I kind of forget about it.
With the trilogy, it's like you're like, I gotta start at the first one and I have to carry that character over, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
that's just so there's like 148 hours of freaking content immediately right there. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's honestly crazy that it's on Game Pass, like the remaster trilogy.
Yeah.
Like I was actually pretty surprised that when that went on there, because that's definitely a series of games that I've always wanted to play that I never played when they came out or anything. I've always just heard such great things about them. Like it's pretty impressive to pull off like bringing your same created character throughout all these different games and stuff.
Right. I think I got like halfway through the first one, and then I jumped on to something else. But I do want to go back and play that a lot. I need to get. I said it, I think 2 weeks ago. I just need to get back on freaking Skyrim. I need that good Skyrim replay. I wanted to play Tunic. Do you know what game that is?
Oh yeah, it's like a is that like the Zelda like? It's like a kind of like a Wind Waker-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like you're playing as a fox with like Link's outfit on.
I remember reading about it, and I haven't really heard much about it. Is it already out?
Yeah, it's out. It's on Game Pass.
I remember seeing a trailer for it. Oh, maybe that's where I saw it. Actually, maybe I saw it on the Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on
Game
Pass.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It looks like a cute little game. Like that's one thing I really appreciate about Game Pass is I've been able to try out a lot of indie games. Like there was one I played last summer called Mulaka, where it's like this.
Yeah,
it's a simple deal where it's like a Zelda-like action and cel-shaded sort of gameplay, and it's based on Aztec like legends and stuff like that. It's really cool.
I like it.
I probably would never have played it if it wasn't for Game Pass. You know?
Yeah. Like I played for a little while. I played Death's Door.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that's the one. You're like a crow, and you're killing stuff.
I think my wife wanted to play that one. Yeah, she's a lot into those sort of like I guess unusual kind of like story driven games. There's one called I think it's called Lake, where you play as like a postal worker, mail deliverer, and you like I guess she's like solving murders and stuff like that. And I
have a friend. You know Key. Because he works for the post office, and he was like, I want to play this game, but like, why would I want to come home and keep working like in a game?
Do your actual job simulator,
right? Actual job simulator. I was like, well, this one is probably more interesting than whatever you do at work. The next game I want to try is I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Anno Mutationum. So it's like ANNO, and then it has like and then space and then MUTATIONEM. So it's like a cyberpunk. I want to say it's like a cyberpunk Metroidvania or something. Plays a female that just I think killing robots or something like that. I'm not sure, but it looked cool from all the trailers that I've seen, and I really, really want to play it. Really, really want to play it.
I'm like, I'm definitely like it's funny because a lot of the games I was sort of really intrigued by or looking forward to are just kind of out in the ether. You know what I mean? It's like I want to play that new Sonic open world game. I want to play Zelda 2. I want to play like freaking Metroid Prime 4. But it's just these games are so it's unsure if these games will ever exist. So
ever exist.
You know what I mean?
Will they ever
I am
exist?
real excited for Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
And I do think that looks really good. And I'm super intrigued by the non-EA NFL games that are coming. There's the one that you covered at PAX, the one that's not NFL, but it's like football, American football. And then there's isn't 2K coming out with an NFL game? Aren't they coming out with
it's just it's non-simulation, but that's they're doing another game. They're doing a 2K game,
so things are looking up. I think that's promising.
Exactly.
2K is not that much better than EA, but just the fact that it's not just one company being able to do whatever they want is a step in the right direction.
Right. No. I mean, I completely hear that. I think in the last game I wanted to put in my back catalog is Cyberpunk 2077 for a next gen console. I wanted to try it out. Give the game a second go.
I almost actually brought that up too because. People are like, I've just kind of randomly started hearing like just seeing people saying on Twitter and stuff that like it's good now. Like people just like, oh, it sort of did like what No Man's Sky did, and now it doesn't suck anymore. And I'm like, okay,
okay.
I feel like it launched in a way more messed up state than No Man's Sky did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And people might be saying that because of all the fixes, but it's like I don't know if it hasn't been that many fixes. Like I guess I gotta check it out, and I want to check it out on one of the best hardwares. So like, I guess we'll see. We'll see when it comes to that.
Yeah, it was supposed to launch like this. It didn't launch like this, and it's got all kinds of improvements, and now it's like this.
it's like half of what it should be.
Yeah,
it's like half. It's like, oh, thanks for being half of that.
300% improvement.
That Sonic Origins game comes out next month. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that.
Oh yeah. It's funny how little I've heard about that. I heard people were making fun of it for like the weird different editions, and that's pretty much all I've heard about it. People were making fun of them for like a day, and then it's just kind of gone back underground.
That was kind of it, because I heard about it when I was going to PAX. It was like the day I was going to PAX, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And then people made fun of it, and I didn't really know why. And then,
despite the weird way that they're packaging it, the games actually themselves look great, like actual remasters of the OG Sonic games.
Correct.
I really like this era of doing like full on remasters and remakes of old 2D games. Like they're doing like with Link's Awakening and Pokemon Diamond and stuff like that. I've enjoyed both of those remakes.
You know what game I forgot that was coming out until today was the Pokemon Violet and the Pokemon Scarlet. I completely forgot
Scarlet. That's what it was. I can remember Violet. I kept forgetting Scarlet.
I completely forgot that those games were coming out.
When are they coming out? Did they say this year? Surely not. Maybe.
Yeah. No, I think they said this
year.
They
just came out with the Diamond and Pearl and then Arceus.
That was this year, right?
That was this year, yeah.
Let me look. I'm gonna have to fact check because
then they're coming out with 2 whole other Pokemon games.
Yeah.
That look like they're sort of a mixture of the style of like the OG, like because it's 2 versions, but then it also looks like it's an open world game.
Yeah.
From the one trailer that they showed.
Oh God. Where do I find? I don't know why I didn't just put release date. Okay, I mean it says 2022. Because Arceus came out in January 28th. Damn, it's been a long year.
It has been a long year. Man.
2022, that's what it's saying. We should have did that.
What a wild year for Pokemon.
Yeah. But Pokemon games don't get delayed, do they?
I mean, they don't seem to, do they, huh? Yeah, now that I think about it, they're pretty good, especially the mainline ones. Pretty much they say we're going to come out this November, and then they do.
I can't remember a game.
It's been that way since the Clinton administration.
Oh God.
Since the 20th century.
Right. I can't remember a Pokemon game that really got delayed. Yeah, I don't think one has gotten delayed. So
yeah, even like the spin-offs and stuff, I don't remember there being like a big controversy about that. And I mean, especially when I was younger, I would follow those games, like religion. So I feel like I would remember,
Right. For once, I actually ran out of news. Like,
oh wow,
I actually ran. Like that was kind of it. We were gonna talk about some of the gaming events that were coming up, like Jeff Keighley's like summer game fests and stuff like that. I don't really know at the moment, unless I did a whole bunch of digging. I don't really know exactly what is going to be there. I know he's playing it. I know it's going to be available in like an IMAX theater, which I've never heard of in my life.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So is he actually getting companies to show up? Like is Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo going to be there? Or?
I think Microsoft and Bethesda have their own thing, I guess.
I feel like everyone's doing their own thing because it's all in June where E3 would have been. So it's like Xbox is doing their direct. I'm sure Nintendo's going to have their own direct, and Sony probably is going to do their state of play or whatever they call it. And so
EA apparently there's no EA Play this year. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I just heard like a couple hours ago. So.
I mean, what is EA gonna announce, "Hey, we're stumbling every bag that we've ever had this year."
I would have thought maybe the newer Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2,
That's right. That's
whatever.
right. Yeah. What is it? Jedi something Survivor?
Survivor?
Lone
Yeah,
Survivor?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
Survivor now?
Yeah, I think so.
We
I
have
haven't seen anything
some
about that
FIFA
game, but
stuff.
I'm excited for it because that first one was the best
Really
game
good.
EA has come out with in so long.
Really good. They have I mean something on FIFA 23. Um I mean we saw okay, so here's a little bit of news. We did see like their financial stuff, EA stuff, and I remember seeing they were talking about like a new sports game coming and like all these other mainline games coming, and I was like, okay, well it looks like they said a remake was coming, so the Dead Space remake for next year, early next year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that. And then you have not Dragon Age. Dragon Age wasn't shown. So I don't know what's going on with Dragon Age at the moment.
So are they doing like a trilogy remake, or are they doing like a new one?
With the Dead Space?
Dragon Age.
No, Dragon Age is just they're doing the fourth one.
Okay.
Yeah. Dead Space, they're just doing the first one. They're just remaking the first
Yeah.
one, but I don't know if they're gonna try to do the trilogy or just try to move on from that and do something else. And then you have what else? Skate 4.
Are they really coming out with a new Skate?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
man. That's been news for a minute. Yeah.
I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because like I kind of expected when Tony Hawk like came out and everyone remembered how good those games were that they would kind of make this sort of like turn of the century like the extreme sports game phenomenon start to come back, and that just kind of didn't happen. Like it sort of
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised about that. Similar with platformers when like you started seeing Spyro and Crash and like Medieval and all these games get remade, and I was like, oh cool, we're about to see a bunch of new old school platformers come out.
Yeah.
Nope. I guess not.
I like that new Tony Hawk game too. I really liked it. I picked it up the other day. Well, I have it on my PlayStation, but I started playing it again the other day, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is really good.
It takes me right back to like the old times.
Are you gonna be playing? Are you gonna try Diablo Immortal?
I've never really gotten too into Diablo games. I tried them out back in the day with like I think Diablo 2, and I was real bad at it. And so I was just like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. This is the one that's coming out on phones, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I don't have a phone, so.
Yeah. No, I'm not playing that. Like, I'm not playing that. I'm not interested in Diablo Immortal.
Did we already talk about how I can't remember if this happened since our last episode or not. Square Enix sold off a bunch of their like key trademarks. They sold like
what Tomb Raider, right?
Tomb Raider and like Deus Ex and like a bunch of like big name ones, to mint a bunch of NFTs, and then that all crashed. So I don't know. I guess Square is going to be the next step on the chopping block.
Yeah, didn't they do that to like what they're trying to sell them off to get bought out or something? Or
I think that's what's probably going to happen. They said that they were doing it so they could invest it all in cryptocurrency and NFTs, which is everyone probably would have told them that's a bad idea.
That's a dumb idea. That's stupid.
And then I don't know if you I kind of hate follow NFT news, and it's bad right now for them. And so it turns out that was a really terrible decision by Square Enix. So I don't know what's going to become of that. According to when I heard about them selling it off, the report that I was watching was saying how the company that bought them has actually a pretty good track record of buying games and actually like kind of trying to make good entries in those series. So maybe probably will work out, for like, gamers in the end. But yeah, it's just a bizarre, incredibly stupid move by Square Enix.
It's really dumb.
I don't know.
It's really dumb. Yeah. I do hope they get bought out because I think they need it. But I also think Konami needs it too.
Yeah. I could see them getting swooped up by anybody at this point. Square, Sony or Microsoft.
Did we talk about Did we talk about Activision's Blizzard Activision situation?
I mean, which one? Like,
Uh, I guess you
they
were
are a
right. I
mess.
guess I kind of
Yeah.
just threw it out there. Nah, the
Yeah.
fact that the like the their that Microsoft's inquiry of them could end up being like overturned. Did we talk about that?
They've been meeting some kind of resistance, or
Yeah.
like the FEC chair is like skeptical of it.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
the FTC
we talked
apparently
about
is
that.
like so much more
Yeah,
strict
scrutinizing.
on stuff like
Yeah,
that, and so they're saying
which really
that
surprised
they're
me
gonna
because
do it.
like, yeah, which is genuinely surprising. Like, I'm not even trying to be like political or anything. It's just usually when you hear about like these corporate mergers, they're like, "Well, we have to get approved by the FTC." Oh, okay, we got approved. You know what I mean? It's usually like, it's like, when Discovery Channel bought Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
and it was like, I felt like they got approved within like a day.
Mm.
So like, it's interesting.
Well, Disney bought everybody.
And then Disney just buys up everybody. Yeah, yeah. And Facebook and all those people at Amazon, they just buy up all kinds of random companies, it seems. And so
Yeah.
like, it's kind of interesting. I'd be interested to know what the difference is, because what makes Amazon buying Whole Foods, or Disney buying Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
like okay, versus, and I know it's different people, but it's like usually they're not that ideologically different from one admin to another. So it's
Yeah.
like, it'd be interesting to know what makes the Microsoft buying Activision so unique. Maybe it's just the controversies around Activision. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think so. I was reading Jason Schreier's stuff, and apparently they have somebody new in there that is she's like not playing that. Like she's like gonna really look at this and really try to overturn it probably. Now they said what they're gonna do. They're actually probably gonna end up. I think they said something like they're gonna end up suing Microsoft, and it's gonna kind of bid Microsoft into being like, we don't want that, so we're just gonna back out of the deal.
Interesting.
I
wonder what
think
Activision would do.
Activision Blizzard is in a very unique position. They kind of need to get bought.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was about. It's because like, if this doesn't go through, I mean, it's kind of over for Activision, because nobody really has faith in them anymore. No, I mean, like, even people who aren't really about like, getting into like the drama of stuff, at a certain point it just kind of feels dirty to keep supporting them, because it's like, it's just every day there's some horrible thing that comes out about them. Even if
Yeah.
it's something that says there's, every day is like, oh, their games are not as good as they used to be, and they're full of microtransactions, all the way up to like, actual crimes. You know what I mean? And so it's like, like, yeah, I could see, them, splitting up or going to bankruptcy or doing something like that if it doesn't work out. So yeah,
I don't know if it was you that I was talking to, or if it was another friend that I was talking to, but they made a really good point. They're not the issue with Activision is they're not retaining talent, they're losing talent, and they're not gaining talent. I don't know if that was you. Might have been you. I can't remember.
I mean, I agree with it. I don't think it was me that
okay.
like. I mean, I'll take credit for it. It's fine.
I mean, yeah,
it's a really smart thing to say, so I'll take credit.
Yeah, I'll take credit. I was like, and that is 100% true. Like, they really need this acquisition to go through, and they really need somebody like Bobby Kotick to leave. Like, and that's what the result of this is going to happen.
All the people that he empowered and enabled, they need to get rid of those people, because as long as they're all there, no one's going to want to work for them. Like, I wouldn't want to work for them. Like, it just seems like it, like, people who, the actual day-to-day programmers who actually make the games, it's like their passion. They're artists. They're doing what they love. And I would hate to have that sort of like ruined by having to work for just like the worst people,
and being treated like crap in the midst of it.
And just being, yeah, exactly, yeah. And so, at the very least, if they're not going to get just completely under new management, like and be Microsoft from now on, then they need to at very least clean house and just get rid of all of these predators and just bad people that run the company right now,
and change the pay gap. I mean, change the pay structure, because that's one of the main issues at Activision Blizzard.
And that's something that we've been starting to learn about it at the industry as a whole. Is luckily it does seem like employees are becoming more successful at getting like representation and unionizing and stuff. But it's a battle every single time. Like, you've been hearing the stuff about Nintendo coming out, and it's just it's like, it feels like every week, like, in other companies, like trying to bust unions and stuff. And it's like, yeah, it'll be better for everyone in the long run if you just pay people
Yeah.
better and treat people well, because then they'll make better games, they'll be happier at work, and then it's just like it's like a positive feedback loop, whereas right now it's the opposite, because it's like no one wants to go to work because they get treated like shit.
Right, and Nintendo really doesn't have an excuse for not paying their developers, because Nintendo makes so much damn money. We know that.
They have unlimited money. Yeah. They're like they're old. They're like 150 years old. Like you know what I mean? Like they're unstoppable. Nothing could ever bankrupt Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo will be around long after human beings are extinct.
Yeah, still making Nintendo games.
Still making Kirby.
Bringing out another Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs will give it a 10 out of 10.
They will, yeah.
Because it's gonna be a masterpiece, and I'm gonna feel bad for not being able to play it. Like,
yeah. FOMO from beyond the grave.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think I hate when I see companies, and I think that happened with Bungie recently, and I was like, oh my god, Bungie is just as bad. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, oh my god.
About that,
yeah, I was just like, how? And like people are like, well, you didn't know that, and it's like, I try not to think of it like that. Mm-hmm. Like honestly, I try to go through all my companies that I like. Treat their like developers and the whole company like good, like they're actually human beings. Apparently, Bungie doesn't. And you would have thought like guys that started off with like 10 dudes who all really, really knew each other, you would have thought maybe that company would have grew and had like this family kind of like vibe, but they don't.
And Bungie portrays itself as the little man, like they like climbed out of the shadow of Microsoft and all that kind of stuff. And,
no, I completely agree with that.
You guys are billionaires.
Yeah, they always try to. They always do. And the funny thing is, Bungie always says that they're like, we're independent, but we're like not. Like we're an indie title or indie developer.
Now they're Sony, right?
They're with Sony now.
Yeah, no, that still trips me out. Crash Bandicoot is the Xbox game, and Bungie is owned by PlayStation.
Yeah, it's owned by they could. Yeah, totally.
It's the topsy-turvy world we live in.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, but I mean, of course, like Halo didn't move or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you watch you should watch like the history of like Halo. It's really good. It's a really good watch, and it just shows that like Bungie just did not want to be the Halo developers. It shows that.
Yeah. I watched something one of the history of Halo video. I was like Larry Bundy or someone like that did it. It is fascinating how it went through all these different iterations, and it was going to be like Apple, was going to make it at first. And
I know that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Steve Jobs was like, "Yeah, you can show it up here. That's fine." And it's like he's a visionary. He knew this little green guy.
On me at all.
Yeah, this little green guy right here. He's this little green guy in this suit shooting aliens. This is gonna work. This is gonna work.
He'll jump over to our biggest rival and stay with them, and then he'll jump, and then the company that made them will jump over to their biggest rival.
Yeah, he saw it coming.
This guy will get a TV show on streaming that'll just absolutely butcher the character in so many ways. I haven't even watched it, and I'm like offended by it because just how people have described it.
Oh, you're talking about the Halo show?
The show, yeah, like Matt, she's taking off himself, he's having sex. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's
what is this?
I'm supposed to watch the newest episode, and it's like, it's not. I'll give my, because I think I've been meaning to talk about this damn show on this podcast. It's not good, and it also isn't horrifically awful either. It's just sometimes I watch it and I get so damn offended as a Halo person. Like I'm just like, what are they doing? And then they have moments I'm like, okay, if they just do more of this, then they're great.
Sense,
But then there's other moments I'm like, why is Master Chief butt naked? What is going on?
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's so perfect for like a film or TV adaptation that it's like like hard to, it's like, how do you mess that up? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Paramount spent $300+ million to make Master Chief act like he's in the Days of Our Lives. I don't know. Like it's just so emotional. Like I'm like, dude, like you cried for a whole episode about, and I'm not trying to get into spoilers or anything, but you cried for a whole episode because you were upset about somebody taking you from your house and you were trying to figure all that out. I whatever, but it's like Master Chief is a certain way, and like sometimes I would forget this guy is Master Chief because one, He has his helmet off the whole fucking time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And he doesn't like I've seen like screenshots and stuff, and like he doesn't look like how you would think Master Chief looks. Like I don't know, like he doesn't match the voice from the video games. I guess.
And sometimes like when he talks, and I had this because my mother is watching the show, and I tell her all the time, it's like there's some lines I'm like that reminded me of Master Chief, even though he has his helmet off. Like it reminds me of Master Chief. Master Chief doesn't sit here and go on and cry and bitch and complain about everything. He's very stern guy. Couple words.
And in the moments in the games where he does get emotional, it hits even harder because he's so unlike that. Right. And he doesn't take his helmet off even then. You can tell,
keeps it on. You
can feel the emotion even though he doesn't have like facial expressions.
Exactly. Yeah. There was there's been a few lines where like one of the other Spartans was like saying, "Oh, what about the mission and what about this?" And he's like, "Don't worry. Like he said something like we're always successful in the mission." Something like that, but like he said it, stared at her for a second and then walked off, and I was like, "That's Master Chief in a bundle." Like in a bundle. That was a perfect Master Chief line. Cuz he knows. He knows it. Like what was it in Infinite? He was like, what did he tell the weapon? He was just like, she was like, well, the mission's changing. Yeah, the mission's changing. They always do.
It always changes.
Yeah, they always do. And then he jumps off a ship or some shit. That's how it's supposed to go. It's easy writing.
That's like after one of the boss fights and stuff. And then he's like, mission's always changing. He jumps off.
He fucking jumps off.
I'm like, yeah.
I was like, boom, golden line. Put it on the back of my car.
Yeah, exactly.
The mission always changes.
Yeah, put on a t-shirt.
It's perfect stuff. Man, I'm very surprised we got through everything I wanted to talk about, and then we had to kind of just make up stuff as we went a little bit. Thank you guys for coming back to the Dear Video Games podcast here on the Soul Dojo Gaming channel. Walter, any projects you got coming up? Anything you want to shout out?
I feel like I say this every week, but that's because that's just the nature of working on projects. I'm very close to finishing the album I've been working on.
Yeah.
Essentially that. I do have some just. I am planning on just kind of maybe have a couple of just like remixes and singles and stuff. I'm just kind of messing around with on the side that I might put up just because it's been a while since I uploaded anything. But
nice.
I'm sincerely hoping that I can get this album out by like July, so that would be really cool.
It's a long process trying to get an album out. So
it is. Well, it's like oh, I'm in the final stretch, like I've just got like the final 2 steps. So that's fine. It's only going to be 6 months. You know what I mean?
It's like I'm so damn close.
Close. Yeah.
You can follow him at Slapadelic on Twitter. You can follow me, Callie from the Dojo. My name is Curtis Russell. You can find a lot of my work on either here on the Soul Dojo, or you can go to Sports Gamers Online. Whether it's the website or if it's the YouTube, you can find my work on there. And yeah, man, appreciate you coming back on, man. And hopefully we have like somebody else here with us next week.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm definitely down to get guests and all that. Yeah, I think that'd be really nice. That'd be a good way to logical next step, I think.
Yeah, get more opinions on here and keep the conversation going. Because me and you, we can go all day talking about games, but I definitely need to put that topic that we were talking in the next show.
I think I know a couple of people that would be interesting to have on your team.
Perfect, yeah. Awesome. All right, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Soul Dojo Gaming channel. Follow me and him, Slapadelic,